Fran, this Michigan State team, I've watched them in their depth, and they've got a lot. I've heard him say, Coach Izzo, that it's not his most talented team, but it's one of his most connected. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I've been impressed with them from the very beginning. I think they're pretty consistent that way. You know, my experience in this league. They've got a lot of pieces. They've got speed because they play fast. They've got size. Everybody understands and accepts their role. You know, a lot of different guys that can beat you. It's not always the same one or two guys. They got experience coming off the bench. That's always helpful. Yeah, but you know they're going to defend. You know they're going to rebound. They're going to push the ball.
With the senior class last home game, kind of what do you hope fans kind of take away and remember from them?
Senior days are always, emotional for everybody, and especially the families that have been through that journey, and the guys, that you start to reflect on the entire experience. And, everybody just wants it to go well from the standpoint of, the fans appreciating them, and, you hope they all would play well, get all their families together, and compete like we always do.
Is it a little bit tough on they have to go through all the emotions. Some guys tear up, and then it's like, all right, well, 6 minutes later, they're tipping off.
Yeah, I'm just thinking over the years, not just here, but places where I've been, it can be really emotional. Sometimes, for the mom or some family member, and you got, like you said, go right into the huddle and introductions and play the game. So I think our guys are mature enough to appreciate the moment and then turn on the switch and play. I feel pretty confident in that area.
You've certainly spoken about Peyton's qualities over the years, but going into this last game, in a nutshell, how would you describe what he has been to your program?
My relationship with him is really special because I was fortunate enough to see him, and you guys have heard me tell it, I saw him before the pandemic, and we got on him right away. So we were able to develop a relationship with him, and then, of course, he's playing AAU, and we weren't allowed to go to the games, and we couldn't go to the games one year that he was playing high school ball. But we just stayed connected on the phone, and then when it was allowed again, but he never took an official visit here. You think about that. So he's a guy that was able to contribute immediately, which is very difficult to do at this level. We had some good players and a good team when he got here, but he was very, very instrumental in that championship team. And you could just kind of continue to see him get better. And then I think the other thing that has been impressive to me is his versatility. He's a lot of guys that are really good shooters. They don't rebound, and he rebounds, and he fights you on the glass, and he works hard defensively. But then as he's grown, of course, his role expanded and became one of the better players in our league. And then, of course, he has to lead the team. And he was excited about that challenge and has done a terrific job there. Been very impressed with him, not surprised. Expected it from him. He expected it from himself. And we're just thankful he's a Hawk.
He seems to celebrate victories quite openly and with glee, and he takes losing as hard as anybody you'll see. Is that just part of the
That's
competitive?
accurate. That's accurate, and he's somebody that he's serious about his craft. He loves to play, and he loves to work. It's not work. It's what he does, and he prepares, and he communicates with his teammates, and you just have to love and appreciate that about him. And it's understandable that he would, take losses that hard. and celebrate victory. And you try to make sure they understand, yeah, nothing better than winning. There's nothing better than winning on the road. It's what we work so hard for. But you never want them to take losses so hard that it affects anything moving forward. He's able to get back to work and refocus, and that's important.
Fran, I imagine, with continuing to talk about Peyton a little bit, I mean, he's a guy who's been here for 4 years, been through a lot.
Yeah.
You've known him for a long time. I imagine this is going to be hard for you, too.
Yeah, he's somebody that I'm very close with. The utmost respect for everything that he goes through. When you think back to last summer, going down to the combine, I was down there with him, and knowing what it was like going through the pre-draft workouts and things like that, and struggling with, come back, try to get a two-way deal, things like that. We've talked about that. And knowing that he really wanted to come back and be a part of something, meant a lot to me and to his teammates. It was great to see him have a chance to play, again with his brother, and they're both playing extremely well.
Fran, Josh Dix's name is popping up on some NBA lists and such. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the NBA about
They like
Josh?
him. They're watching the same stuff you and I are watching. He's a special player. He's a gamer. He's versatile. He's got size. He's a shot maker, which is always a good place to start. But he's shown that he can play the point. He can swing. He can defend. We've had him guarding anybody from 5'11" to 6'10". Tough as they come. And, character through and through.
Frank, Tom Izzo is the longest tenured head coach in the Big Ten. You're one of the longest tenured. Just what has your relationship been like with him, and how has it kind of evolved over the years?
Yeah, I've known Tom a long time. I was an assistant at Notre Dame when he was an assistant for Judd. And then when I came into the league, it's obviously different. We see each other, we communicate on a lot of issues. He's the one in that room that we all listen to. He and Matt, because he and Matt are on most of the committees. So, much respect for both of those guys when they speak up. Tom really cares about the game, really cares about our league. Sometimes we get tunnel vision just what's going on with our program. That's understandable, but he understands the big picture, and it's been amazingly consistent. I remember when he got into the Hall of Fame, I was thrilled for him and reached out to him. But he's a guy that, if you're going through a hard time, he's going to reach out to you. Anybody in our league, he's one of the first people that will call you if there's, like when Patrick got cancer, for example. He's on the phone with you, he cares about you. And just the utmost respect for he and what he's accomplished.
He apparently was asked about your future today at his press conference, and said it would be sad if you moved on. There's been a lot of speculation, but we've never heard from anyone. We've never heard from you on this or I on this. A lot of people are saying stuff. Can you shed any light on where you are right now, where you stand?
Yeah, I'm fully committed to to the program, to the players. I have no intention of moving on. Just came to work today, tried to figure out how we could beat Michigan State. Did some other conversation, professional conversation, of course, on a number of different topics. And get ready for practice today.
It seems reflective in your recruiting, too. You had one of your best classes on paper.
Yeah, really excited about this class and the juniors that we've had visit and we're involved with. I think we're in pretty good shape with a lot of those guys.
Fran, Drew Thelwell's been a guy that you probably would have wished you could be able to coach for 4 years. Just seems like he's been a seamless fit with your culture and the fan base and your style of play, I guess. How was that relationship, and have you seen his game progress over the last several months?
I can't imagine, I should say, because when we brought in Philip Rebracha, it was just amazing how well he fit and what he accomplished. I feel the same way about Drew. I feel terrible that he had the injury that he had. You know, I think would have been very helpful in a couple of those games that he didn't play in that were close. And of course, I think that was upsetting to him, that feel like, you know, boy, you know, if I was out there, things might be different. But I think we saw the other night how well he played, that, you know, when he's healthy, what he can do. He tried a couple of those games, you know, he just wasn't himself. And that's incredibly frustrating for a guy that he's putting the time in the training room, you know, with our strength coach to get back. But, you know, he needs that explosion. And he's able to penetrate in transition, he's able to create plays for other people, and then he's making shots, he's finishing in traffic. But his character every day is exactly what you want. And I think he's going to be successful whatever he chooses to do. I think he would make a great coach as well if he ever decided to stay in basketball.
You don't see
Any more questions?
you and Tom in the modern landscape. You don't see guys stay at one spot for the length of time. What is it about you and him that you feel like has been able to have that longevity at one spot?
Well, you know, I think it's culture that you have within the program. The guys want to be here. Guys want to come and be a part of that. You know, we often talk about the business side of everything, but the truth of the matter is, you know, I want my players to enjoy the ride, and I want my staff and myself to enjoy every day coming to work, trying to get better, preparing for the next game, accepting the challenge. I think we both look at it that way. I mean, the players that wear the black and gold take great pride, and I think the players that have played for him feel the same way.
Pat mentioned the rumors and speculation that's swirling around the team. You said that guys are always professional. What do those rumors do to a basketball team?
I don't really pay any attention to it, so I don't address it. You know, we're just business as usual.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, Fran.